Hello students, these are the Bodhee Prep topic tests for quant. Now these tests have been designed keeping in mind the fact that once you've gone through the basic concepts of a topic, you might want to test yourself in a test environment. So that is where these tests come into play. You get to know whether you're able to apply those concepts that you've picked up in a test or not. Once you go through a test, there is a video with every test. The video gives you the solution and a brief analysis of the kind of questions that should be attempted and maybe the time that should be put in the questions. There are more than 200 topic tests and videos available on the Android app for Bodhee Prep. The link for the app is in the description of this video. Make sure you download the app and make the most of these tests. This video is on the topic linear equations. This is the first test on linear equations. And I think in terms of level of difficulty, it's a relatively easy to moderate sort of a test. More so because linear equation in itself is not a very difficult topic. 7+ questions out of 10, I think, will ensure a very high percentile. And the ideal time should be around the 20-minute mark to attempt all the questions or go through all the questions and get at least 7 of them net correct. If we look at the questions, the first one says John gets rupees 57 per hour of regular work and rupees 114. This is the double of 57 per hour of overtime work. He works altogether 172 hours and his income from overtime work is 15% of his income from regular work. So we can say that we have to find out how many hours did he work overtime. Suppose he worked overtime for X hours, therefore normal work, this is overtime, therefore normal work would be 172 minus X hours because he has worked 172 minus X. He has total work 172 hours. The income from overtime work is 114 into X, 114 hour, rupees per hour and X hours. This is 15% of his total income. Of his income from regular hours. Income from regular hours will be 57 into 172 minus X. This is the income from regular working hours. 15% of that is the income from overtime, and therefore 114x is equal to 15 upon 100 into 57 into 172 minus x. 57 twos are 114, 5 threes are 5 20s are 100. So 40x is equal to 3 into 172, which will be 516 minus 3x, which means 43x is equal to 516, which means x will come out to 12. 516 upon 43. And that becomes my answer. I'll call it a moderate level of difficulty question because there is some amount of calculation involved and about 2 minutes to solve the question. Another approach for this question could also be the fact that if 100 rupees are earned from normal work, 15 rupees are earned from overtime. This is normal work, this is overtime work. The rate or per hour rate for normal work and overtime work is 1:2, and therefore 100 into 1 and this 15 will be 2 into 7.5. 2 because the rate is double, and therefore the ratio of time between normal and overall work should be 100 is to 7.5. So 7.5 out of 107.5 of 172. This will be the amount of hours which are overtime work. This becomes 75 upon 1075 into 172 divided by 25. Threes are, this is 43. For 12 hours, we'll get the answer. This could also have been done. There are X 50 paisa coins and Y rupee 1 coins. Had there been X rupee 1 coins and Y 50 paisa coins, the amount would have been 30% more. So originally 50 paisa coin is worth half a rupee. Originally the amount will be X by 2 because of X coins here plus Y. This is the amount initially that was there. If the number of coins is interchanged, this will now be of value rupees X. This will be of value rupee Y by 2. Half a rupee Y such coins. The amount would have been 30% more. So this new amount is 30% more than the old amount. So we multiply this by 1.3. 1 plus 30 upon 100 and equate it to the new amount. Which of the following is the possible value of Y is what you're looking at. So if I write this as 0.5x plus y into 1.3 is equal to x plus 0.5y. 1.3, 13 and 5 is 0.65. plus 1.3y is equal to x plus 0.5y. This is x. Y comes here 1.3, y minus 0.5y is equal to x minus 0.65 x, which means 0.8y is equal to 0.35x, 0.35x. Therefore, x by y, or let us write as y by x, is equal to 35 by 80 divided by 5, 7 by 16. Therefore, y has to be a multiple of 16 for any value. From the option, the only multiple is 28, and therefore that becomes my answer. Again, I think this is an easy sort of a question because the calculation is pretty small and we are clearly getting y as a separate prime number. So from the options, choosing the case also becomes relatively simple. About 1.5 to 2 minutes to solve the question. If 2 raised to power x plus 3 plus 3 raised to power y minus 2 is 145, 2 raised to power 2x plus 1 plus 2 raised to power y minus 1, y minus 7, 2y minus 1, 371, whatever the expressions are, x and y are whole numbers. Since x and y are whole numbers, I can actually put values and solve here also because these numbers are not very large, 145 and so on. Now, if I look at multiples powers of 3, 3, 9, 27, 81, 243 will become more than 145, not possible. Now, if I add powers of 2 to this, 145 minus 3 is 142, not possible. 145 minus 9, 136 is not a power of 2. 145 minus 27 will be odd. 81 plus 64 is 145. So this becomes 3y minus 2. 81 is 3 raised to power 4. So y minus 2 is equal to 4, y is equal to 6. And this becomes 2 raised to power x plus 3. 64 is 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. 2 raised to power 6. So x plus 3 becomes 6. X is equal to 3. Let us just put the values here and check. 2 into 6 plus 1, 7. Plus 3 into 12 minus 7, 5. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 60, 128. 128. 3, 9, 20, 3, 9, 27, 18, 243. 128 plus 243 happens to be 360, 371. So our values are correct. Find the value of 2 raised to power 3x minus y. So 2 raised to power 3 into 2 minus 5. 3x. 3 into 3 minus 5. Plus 3 raised to power 6 minus 1. This becomes 2 raised to power 9 minus 2 raised to power 4 plus 3 raised to power 5. 2 raised to power 4 is 2, 4, 8, 16. 3 raised to power 5 is 243. 243. If we add them, we get the total as 259. Option A becomes my answer. I'll say this is a moderate level of difficulty question. Solving it might be a little difficult. But since the values are same, therefore manageable in about 2 minutes. ABCD, the sum is 138. ABCE is 140. ABDE is 144. ACDE is 150. BCDE is 152. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 20 terms here. And the terms are ABCD. So all the terms will be there 4 times. 4 times A, 4 times B, 4 times C we can count as well. 4 times D plus 4 times E. This is equal to the sum here. 130 plus 152 will be 290. 140 plus 150 will be 290. So that becomes 580. 580 plus 144 will be 4, 6, 7, 724. Divided by 4. So A plus B plus C plus D plus E comes out to 724 by 4, which is 181. You have to find the value of C. So we look at the term which does not have C. A plus B plus D plus E is 144. We take the difference. C is left. On the left hand side, 181 minus 144 gives me 37 as the answer. Easy question, not more than a minute and a half to solve. Ramesh has $12, 5 euros. Suresh has $8, 4 euros. Dinesh who had no money, borrowed money equivalent to 24 rupees and 8 rupees from Ramesh and Suresh respectively. If the value of the money with each of the three now is same. See, after borrowing, Dinesh has 32 rupees. And that means now Ramesh and Suresh also have 32 rupees because everyone has to have equal. Dinesh borrowed 24 from Ramesh. So Ramesh initially had 32 plus 24, which is 56 rupees. And Suresh had 32 plus 8, which is 40 rupees with him initially. If the value of money of each of the three is now €1 is worth. Now we know that suppose the value of rupees, the value of $1 in rupees is D and value of €1 in rupees is E, we can say 12D plus 5E is the amount of money that Ramesh has, which is 56. And 8D plus 4E is the amount of money that Suresh has, which is 40. Divided by 4, 2D plus E is equal to 10. You want to find the value of euros. So multiply by 6. Divide by 5, multiply by 6. 12D plus 6E is equal to 60. Now all we have to do is, we take this equation, subtract it from here. 12D minus 12D is 0. This is 6E. 6E minus 5E is E. 60 minus 56 is 4. So then €1 is worth how many rupees? Answer becomes 4. Again, there are two steps involved where we have to first find the value of money with Ramesh and Suresh. So that might take some time to click. Once that happens, it is a simple linear equation question. So I'm saying overall moderate difficulty and about 2 minutes to solve. In a ballot process, 900 votes were polled in favor of a resolution. More were polled in favor of a resolution than were polled against it. Against, if the number is X, for the number is X plus 900. It was also noticed the number of votes polled against the resolution is 30% of the total number. This is 30% of total. So this will be the remaining if everything is correct. If all the votes polled were valid and each vote was either in favor or against, what is the number of votes? So this will be 70% of total. Clearly, we can see that the difference between these two is 40% of the total votes. 30% went against, 70% went for. So 70 is nothing but 30 plus 40. So the extra votes here is 40% of total votes. And that should be equal to 900 because extra 900 votes were polled. Multiply by 2.5, find the total number of votes polled. Multiply by 2.5, so 100% of T, or from here we will solve. 40 upon 100 into T is equal to 900. 0, 0, 0, 0 cancel. 2, 5, T becomes 4500. 9 5 is 40 upon 2, which is 2250. Total number of votes polled is 2250. 30% of this, that is 675. Went against. 900 added to this, that is 1575. Went for. And therefore the total is 2250. Again, easy question, easy calculation. All we had to do was 40% of T is 900. So I'm saying minute and a half, and this question should be done. Mr. Kumar has two sons, Ramesh, Suresh. The sum of 7 times, let the age of Ramesh be R and Suresh be S. The sum of 7 times Ramesh's age, 7R, plus 13 times Suresh's age, 13S, is equal to Mr. Kumar's age. While the sum of 12 times Ramesh's age, plus 8 times Suresh's age, is equal to Mrs. Kumar. Mr. K, Mrs. K. Age. If the difference between Mr. and Mrs. Kumar's age is 5 years, we do not know who is older. Find the difference between Ramesh's age. So therefore, we can say either Mr. K minus Mrs. K could be 5, or Mrs. K minus Mr. K could be 5. But the sign will not matter. So what I'm saying is the difference between these two is 5. So if we subtract them from one another, we get 7R plus 13S minus 12R minus 8S is equal to 5, which means 13 minus 8S. 5S minus 5R is equal to 5, which means S minus R is equal to 1. Now, if the difference here was minus 5, if Mrs. K was elder, we'll get the difference as S minus R is minus 1. So R minus S would be 1. Again, the question is find the difference between Ramesh and Suresh's age. Does not matter who is older, and therefore the difference between them will be 1. Who is older, we do not know. And therefore, I'm saying easy question, just two equations. Essentially, we're just supposed to subtract them and get the answer. Not more than a minute and a half to solve. Rajan's monthly telephone bill consists of fixed amount towards the monthly rent and a variable amount that varies directly with the number of units of calls made. Rajan made 100 units in a certain month and 150 units of call in another month. units received a bill of rupees 500 and rupees 650 for the 2 months respectively. Final number of units of calls made by Rajan in another month for which the bill is 950. Now, when the number of units increases by 50, the bill increases by 150. Therefore, 1 unit increase will lead to an increase of rupees 3 in the bill, 50 upon 150. Now, if the bill is 950, from here, the increase has been rupees 300. For rupees 300 increase, the number of units has to increase by 100 proportionally. 3 into 100, so 1 into 100. So add 100 to this. The number of units called is 150 plus 100, which is 250 becomes my answer. And therefore, I'm saying not a very difficult question, easily can be done in 2 minutes. Even if I do not use this method and I use the formula or the equation, what we'll do is we'll say, let the fixed amount be F and the unit call or the variable amount be V. So we can say that the first bill of 500 rupees is nothing but F. 500 is equal to F plus 100V, and 650 is equal to F plus 150V. Equation 1, equation 2. 2 minus 1 gives me 150 is equal to 50V. So V comes out to 3, something that we calculated. Putting the value of V as 3 here, we will get 500 is equal to F plus 300. So F comes out to 200. That means the bill for Mr. Rajan is 200 fixed plus rupees 3 per call, if the number of units called is N. Now, if the bill is 950, that will be 950 is equal to 200 plus 3N. 750 subtracting 200, 750 is equal to 3 and divided by n is divided by 3, n is equal to 250. Even if I'm doing this, should not take more than 2 minutes, and therefore moderate, about 2 minute attempt time. Nana purchased 2 dairy milks, 3 perks, 5 eclairs. Suppose the unit price of dairy milk is D, perk is P, and eclairs is E. Nana did 2D plus 3P plus 5E. This was 40 rupees. Had Nana purchased 3 dairy milks, 5 perks, and 9 eclairs, she would have paid 64 rupees. Google demanded only 1 dairy milk, 1 perk, and 1 eclair. If Nana purchased only what was demanded by Google, then how much would she have paid? So basically, we are looking at D plus P plus E. There are 2 equations from where we will have to find the value of D plus P plus E. Individual prices may not be possible, but the difference here is 3. The difference here is 1. The difference here is 2. The difference here is 6. Okay. Now I have to work with these two these two numbers to get the coefficients as 1. 2 into 2, 4 minus 3 is 1. 3 into 2, 6 minus 5 is 1. 5 into 2, 10 minus 9 is 1. So what we do is, if this is equation 1, we multiply 1 by 2. If this is equation 2, we subtract 2 from here. 2 2s are 4 minus 3. We will get D. 3 2s are 6 minus 5. We will get P. 2 5s are 10 minus 9. We will get E. This will be equal to 4 2s are 80 minus 64, which is 16. So the price of 1 dairy milk, 1 perk, and 1 eclairs is nothing but 16 rupees. Ideally, that is how you will work in this kind of a question. Look at the coefficients of the given values and try to, from there, get the coefficient of the required value. Trying different cases, here the case was pretty simple, but trying different numbers might take a bit of time. And therefore, even if it is a little more difficult in terms of cases that are formed, 2 minutes should be good enough to answer this question. Otherwise, what we do is we will try to remove probably one of the variables from here and get the value in terms of one variable and then go forward to the question, which kind of makes it a pretty lengthy sort of a question. The monthly expenditure incurred by a hostel comprises a fixed component and a variable component, which varies with the number of persons in the hostel. So expenditure is equal to fixed component plus variable component to number of people. If there are 100 persons, if n is 100, the average monthly expenditure is 2400. So the total expenditure will be 2400 into 100. If there are 200 people, then the average monthly expenditure is 2200. So the total expenditure will be 2200 into 200 number of people into average. What is the fixed component of the monthly expenditure? We can make equations here. F plus V, F plus V. So 100 into V, 200 into V. So what I'm doing is, since I need the value of F, I multiply this by 2 and write it as equation 1. 24 into 2 is 48,0,000 is equal to 2F plus 200V. This is 44. 44,0,000 is F plus 200V. Simply take the difference of these two. 40,000 is equal to F, and that becomes my answer. Fixed component is 40,000 rupees. Again, not a very difficult question, it's just that this is direct relation as opposed to direct variation. So we'll have to form an equation and then go about it. Overall, I think 2 minutes good enough to answer the question. If you look at the overall test, it had multiple questions which were easy, and therefore attempt would be higher and time will not be that high. If I had to choose my 7 easy questions, they would be 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 10. Which are these? Definitely doing this equation and solve. This also I think was relatively easy. Here, if the numbers are larger, the method would not have worked, and therefore I'm saying challenging question, not counting it as one of my 7 easy questions. This I think was one of the easier questions in the test. This could require some thinking to do, because the first step is something that we'll have to figure out. From there, the question follows. So not counting it as an easy question. This I think was pretty simple, a simple percentage calculation. This also, the difference we had to calculate by subtracting two equations. So definitely doing this. Again, basic direct variation. The process is straightforward. It will not change, and therefore doability of this increases at counting this question. Here again, sometimes what happens is the coefficients do not match, and then working with the ratios becomes a little difficult. So I'm not counting this as a sure shot question, because there are other questions that I can do sure shot. For example, the 10th one. Even though the numbers are larger, the process is for sure. I know what I have to do, and I have to simply repeat the process, and therefore I'm counting question number 10. So my 7 sure shot questions will be 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10. And whatever I'm able to do beyond that, increase my score.